Secretary Clinton's biggest donors are reportedly calling for her to spend more time attacking Donald Trump. That's according to the reporting of Politico today. Of course, Secretary Clinton still has to beat Bernie Sanders. He's been on quite a winning streak lately, and he's promising to fight all the way to the convention. So could we see a floor fight coming in Philly in July? Let's bring in Luis Miranda, Communications Director for the Democratic National Committee, who's good enough to join us this afternoon from Washington. Sir, thanks so much. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks, Shep. It's good to be on.
Help us understand what's happening in Wisconsin. It appears Secretary Clinton has moved on, and that she's moved on from Bernie Sanders as well, and New York seems to be the focus.
Well, we still have a primary, and in fact, the Democratic National Committee, we're facilitating the negotiations between the campaigns on upcoming debates. But I think it is important for both of our candidates to not only continue to wage that primary fight, but to also speak out when we hear and see egregious things happening on the Republican side of the aisle, like we have seen with Donald Trump just this week, going, one day from defending his campaign manager over allegations of assault of a woman to the next day then saying that women should be criminalized for an abortion, to really a lot of the other chaos we're seeing on the trail. They need to address that too, and so we certainly think that the big difference that's going to be happening between now and November is that Democrats are not going to make the same mistake that Republicans made. Republicans couldn't go after Trump because they were trying to appeal to some of those same elements, some of the extreme elements of their own party, and so they were too cautious, they were too soft, and they didn't take Trump seriously. We're going to take him seriously, and we think it's great if we do both, continue with our primary, but also focus in on what Trump and the rest of the Republican field would mean for the United States.
Bernie Sanders wants a debate in New York. Why shouldn't he get it?
Well, we're in the process of those negotiations right now, and our candidates are close to finalizing that. As you know, the next two debates that we're talking about were debates that the candidates had agreed to back when we announced debates in Manchester, New Hampshire, Flint, Michigan, and then two additional ones. So that's part of the process. I'm confident that we'll be able to move forward relatively soon, and that with those debates, we'll have an opportunity to showcase that our candidates are right on the issues for the American people that they care about, whether it's the economy, expanding opportunities, education, health care, the things that folks are really concerned about, and that they're actually serious in terms of being commander-in-chief, versus what we've seen this week with dangerous Donald Trump promising to pull out of NATO, potentially being open to using nukes on European soil without thinking about the consequences of what that means when he says things like that. Very dangerous, and our candidates show a very different and serious approach to the issue. So we think it'll be great once they do debate to continue to be able to showcase that.
You say what you want about Donald Trump. He seems to have traction in the Rust Belt. That's normally Democratic territory. To what degree is there concern? Because I know there is some.
Well, we're certainly attentive to the dynamics in the Rust Belt and in areas that have been particularly hard hit. But we also have to make sure that we're talking about the differences that have been made. You look at a state like Michigan, where the auto industry is resurgent. It's resurgent because Democrats, under the leadership of President Obama, invested in making sure that the auto industry came back, versus Republicans who wanted to let Detroit go bankrupt. So we got to make sure that we remind people of those differences, and we also have to remind them what it is that the Republican candidates are actually promising with their union-busting approach to the economy, and that's not good. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason that those states were more prosperous before, the reason that folks in the auto industry and others prospered, is because we had strong labor unions and the right of workers to organize, and that's something that Democrats are going to protect. The Republican candidates would certainly be harmful to the ability of workers to organize, and so we do have to make that case. We're certainly attentive to it.
The DNC Communications Director, Luis Miranda from Washington. Sir, thank you.